not be blown away. Oh yeah, I see the
The cool weather's nice in the mornings and at night. If we could just do away with the middle of the day when it hits that
Oh,
85.
for you.
Watch out, it's spraying.
That's a brilliant
Hold
idea.
on. Yeah, the Terminator can spray over there.
That's not the stuff you put on your body then.
Oh, no.
No,
it's
that's
like
the yard stuff.
Yeah, like yard
Oh,
stuff.
great, okay.
Yeah.
What did the seat where they were
Yeah.
sitting?
It's
Smells
just
pretty.
like for
It does smell good.
different
It
areas.
Put a little,
Okay. Yeah, no, it's not deodorant.
Definitely not deodorant.
Well, thank you. That
So-
was a nice additive.
So listen, Dalton got in trouble. He served detention for inappropriate, it was for you, inappropriate use of social media.
Oh dear.
And he posted a picture of our athletic director, Kyle Kennedy. Unfortunately, even the coaches laughed about it, thought it was a joke, but rules are rules.
So what exactly was the post?
It
was
was
a pic-
somebody else's post.
Yeah,
It was just
that Dalton-
reposted.
It was a picture of Kyle Kennedy, the
Coach
athletic
Kyle,
director.
one I know,
Coach
okay.
Kyle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there was something with the baseball team. They were submitting music for, walk-up jams and stuff for when the baseball season starts. Some of it was rap, and Kyle didn't want it, and there was a joke amongst the baseball players. Well, one of the other boys took a picture of Kyle and kind of doctored it
Like
up
he was a
and
rapper.
like a rapper, and it was pretty funny. It
It's
really
an
was pretty
inside
funny.
joke.
And it was a bit of an inside joke, and
It
at the end of the day, someone turned him in through
turned in the
their-
kid that made this.
No, they actually turned Dalton in.
Turned Dalton in.
Because
Well, why
Dalton
would
was the
Dalton
one,
be turned
because
in?
he posted it on a private
They're-
Instagram account, that
in
there's
their group.
77 kids
Yeah.
that are all Bay Area Christian students. And although private, it's not private to 77, so to me, it's just public.
77 people are on this
In
internet group?
their group.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the little account.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
So, it was turned in as, hey, this was offensive. Rules are rules, can't be posting pictures, certainly can't be derogatory or anything like that. So, he served detention for it.
And
And
the
so-
other
What's
boys,
detention mean?
It's one day, they have to stay after school.
And do what?
Right hand book,
How long?
45 minutes, 30 minutes.
Okay.
But that's part of their discipline.
So,
He did
did
it.
that done. We were meeting in the kitchen the other night, talking about sort of downloading that and what we've learned from it. And there was a comment made around Mason. And I said, well, Mason doesn't have anything to do with this. He goes, well, maybe not, I don't know. And I said, well, I don't ever want to hear you say that again. One, because it's not to be proven is a anonymous system of submitting if you've been offended or you got a problem with something. So I said, we're not talking about that. He goes, well, it just goes way back. And I said, well, I tell you what, I got time. I'll listen to something. And he goes, there's just a lot of stuff between me and Mason. I said, okay, well, tell me the top three. And he was telling me a couple of things, and I said, and I noticed he kept looking at his phone, and I said, I mean, what are you doing? Do you have this like taking notes of your buddy? And he goes, no, Dad, it's a text message. He said, why don't you read it? And I said, no. I said, those are your problems. I said, you and Mason, or you and whomever, y'all need to work out your problems. I don't need to hear your problems. Well, you might want to read it. I said, well, let me see it. I'll take a look. And then that's when Tracy and I got concerned. And I got concerned with what was sent to him. And that's really, I want y'all to know what is going on in the text messing. You have 8 screenshots there.
Mason already gave this to us. I've read it 3 times already. There's no need to read it. I mean, I've already read it from Mason's phone.
Okay.
I read it to him.
It's identical to this. We had Mason read it to us at the dinner table, so.
Have you read it?
Yeah, I read it right
I
here.
have, but if you feel the
Okay.
need to read this, then I will listen, because I want to make sure that your needs are met tonight.
Now-
And Dalton's and Tracy's. So if you want to read to me, I would love to listen. If
Well-
you don't, that's fine too.
It's 100% inappropriate. If I read it out loud, I would feel bad saying it in front of you. And if my boys put stuff like that on a phone to somebody, text messaging, social media, what it was, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for the Spriggs family at all. So what I want out of this is one of two things. Y'all can be friends, and we can talk, we can bury the hatchet, we can say enough of this social media stuff, we can say enough of this talking trash about or to one another, and we can be friends. Or number two, we can be respectful, because I believe that's what we're supposed to be learning at Barrier Christian School. We can be respectful with one another. We can say hello to one another in the hallways. We don't have to be best friends and go fishing. We don't have to do any of that, but we can be respectful. And we do not need to talk trash to one another, up and down the hallway, to each other, or any of that.
Lunchroom, lunch table, yeah,
Anywhere.
I agree. I agree. 'Cause they're both guilty. They're both guilty parties on many accounts, so I get that, and Mason's been
Yeah, I mean,
reprimanded
there's
for
quite a bit
the
in here
language.
that Mason shared with us that, you know, I think has egged this on a little bit.
Like what?
You have a nickname for Mason at the lunch table, the way
Oh.
he eats?
Freshman year, Augie. After Wonder. Everyone would call
I
me
didn't-
Augie. Yeah,
I didn't make that up. I just repeated it after
you
others
didn't have
said it.
you didn't have to
And guess what?
repeat
And
that.
you did that to him for an entire month, and I
It
had to
was
call
a
the
year.
school and ask somebody to listen in on that lunchroom table, because Mason still won't eat
And
at lunch anymore because of the way you harassed him.
And I still think maybe your dad was probably a little more concerned about Mason's accident than you, because there was quite a bit of harassing going on at school. In fact, Mason tells us, and there's certain things that we're just like, you know what, Pete, get over it, be a big boy. When you and Landon were driving in the truck and you saw Mason behind you,
Landon texted me,
and
don't
Landon
hit us.
texted Mason and said, please don't rear end us like you did the cop. I mean,
That-
there wasn't 4-letter words involved in that, or curse words, but,
Thanks.
you know, one of the other things that really sort of upset Mason last year, and like I said, I think this has been going on for a while, is up until the last day,
Not killing them.
up until the last day of the fishing tournament, or forming teams for the fishing tournament, you and Mason were a group. And you kept saying, yeah, I'm your partner, I'm your partner, I'm your partner. And then the day before we have the fishing meeting, you drop Mason like a hot potato and you hook up with Smith. Right?
Hang on. So, with that situation, that's not what I remember at all. I believe it was about a week in notice, and I told Mason that I was going to be with Smith. It's not like I dropped him the day before the fishing
It was
tournament
2 days
started.
before, actually. He just had a scramble, and I remember having to post on my Instagram story, hey, who wants to do in the fishing team? So I remember it was exactly 2 days before, because we had to get the names by Friday.
And another thing about the lunch situation was just me following what the rest of them did. I wasn't going out of my way to
Is that
verbally harass
necessarily
him
the
and
right
call him
thing?
Augie.
Is that necessarily the right thing, though, to go with the group?
No, but that's just what we were all doing. If you had a problem, you would have stuck up right then and not waited 2 years to do it.
So I should wait and... So let's say I get called a bad word. I should stick up for myself? Because I remember...
Yes.
I remember specifically me and Brady. I can call Brady right now. He would try to stop it, me and him, and then he would get deflected and start getting attacked by everyone at that table too. But necessarily what you're saying is if let's say a group of people are beating someone up, you're saying it's fine to follow it because everyone else is doing it. Just like, so let's say everyone's calling someone a name, it's fine to do
Completely
it.
different context.
Sounds the same to me.
No.
Yes.
I think a lot of this is all stemming from, number one, I asked Mason, and I believe in Mason. He's not the one that turned you in, but I believe that there
I
are
have you
quite-
blocked on every single thing on
I
my
believe
phone.
that there are
Instagram,
quite a few
so.
people that might be upset that may have turned you in about, but, you know, I know it wasn't Mason.
It was just a hunch I had because of what's been going on.
I mean,
Not that I have any
You,
way
you
to
can
prove
ask.
or disprove
You can ask
or any of it.
Berkeley. I had you blocked that day.
That's fine. That's fine.
So
I
don't.
believe you.
You sure?
I mean, the inappropriate language, yeah, I've spoken to Mason about that. But, you know, I think it's two-sided as well.
So it's okay.
What, the inappropriate language? No, I told
No,
you I
it's
just
not
spoke to
okay.
Mason about it.
And you led with but, so.
And we let him what?
And I let him what?
And then you said but, so that tells me it's about to say, well, but that's okay.
I mean,
No,
I've had
it's
Dawn
not
say the
okay,
N-word
but
like
do
3
you not
times.
think that your son uses vulgar language?
Not like this,
I've-
What, the F word?
not like this. In a messaging system,
I can get you.
Well,
Come on,
okay, in a
messages.
messaging system,
Come
that's
on.
exactly what I told Mason, is this is extremely inappropriate in a messaging system. But I'm sure that that verbiage, whether it's on the football field, whether it's during a fishing tournament when you miss the big fish, that word has come out of his mouth. And if not, kudos to you for never cursing. But there was some negative stuff, maybe not cursing, in this message chain that came from your son as well. I mean, or do you feel that he's completely innocent in this?
no, I don't think he's innocent at all, but I do think there's just a whole lot of negativity. There's a whole lot of,
I mean,
I don't know what you wanna call it, I don't-
Just a lot of animosity.
just animosity, yeah.
That's there.
Yes,
That just
there's a
means-
lot.
I don't.
It's been
that's-
brewing for a long time. And I think the icing on the cake was, Dalton had a birthday party and,
I
Dalton winning
invited
the
friends
presidency. And there was a whole group of people that was all for Zoe. And then there was a whole group of people that voted for Dalton. And I think that that was the beginning of a lot of infliction of animosity since the, Zoe has been going to that school for over 10 years. They got over $200,000 worth of education there. She went through every single portal of VP, secretary, and that's all she wanted in the whole wide world, and had a big plan. And hey, congratulations, kudos to you. You won, and I think that really created a lot of animosity between some of the seniors, some of the supporters of Zoe, and then so it was like Dalton versus Zoe supporters, and I think that led to a whole lot of animosity. So I think that's really the biggest driving force of a lot of this animosity. And Mason had some friends over, you had your party, Mason went golf cart riding, and friends at your party were throwing the football at the golf cart and stuff, and Mason didn't hold them with a chain and say, don't go to Dalton's party. I don't know why.
I invited Angel, Arturo, and Brady a
Right,
week
those are
before
his
he
friends.
did.
But the thing is
And they
that
were
I
two
think
different
this is,
times.
I think this is the driving force, and I don't like anything that he did, that isn't appropriate at all, but I don't think that they're both innocent here. I think that they've both done things that neither one of us as parents are proud of, and I would think that you would not be proud of some of the things that Dalton has also said to Mason. And so to tell him that he'll be a loser and never amount to anything, and abuse him at the lunch table, and for a month every time he came up at the lunchroom saying, oh, look out, Mason's on the road, watch out, he might crash into you, Mason hurt for a long time, totaled a car, was pretty devastated, scared to drive for a long time, and until you get to your first accident, you realize how scary it is. You might not joke about that, but Mason comes home and tells us that stuff. I saw the text from Landon about, don't need us like the police, and I said, you know what, Mason, let it go, take the high road. And so, it's unfortunate that it had to come to this, but I agree with you. Kenny, we got two choices right here. They can either bury the hatchet and be friends, or they can be cordial, but this has to stop.
Can we go
Is
back?
any of what she said true about what she said?
Well, can we go back to the party
So you
thing?
don't know about these other incidences?
I mean, did you know that he gave me the wrong exam schedule and I failed an exam because of that?
Oh, you don't have your own accountability?
Oh,
for
no,
your own
this was back whenever I was trusting him with something, and it was the weekend, and so I asked him. So I failed my history exam because he thought it'd be funny if he told me the wrong day. But ever since then, I learned to be responsible, but he may deny that.
So
Yeah,
can we
not
go
every
back?
base is great as Dalton.
can we go back to the that party thing? So originally, when I had sent out the invitations, either Saturday or Sunday before, I sent them out.
1 week before.
Okay, so Saturday, and Mason originally RSVP'd to the party, and then throughout the week was going. The election was on Wednesday, and I wasn't present in art class on Wednesday, but I heard from
You
Caden.
weren't?
No, I was in
Okay.
Miss Gad's office doing some college stuff, but Caden told me that Mason was planning some sort of party also on Saturday, the same day as my party, and it just seems like, so I've already had this party. All the people that were at Mason's house on that day were also invited to my party.
Not that day though.
Let
Not
him
that day.
finish. Let him finish.
And so they were all invited as well, and they'd known about the invitation since the Saturday, right? And then the Saturday rolls around, and I see Berkeley, I see Angel, I see Brady, I see Arturo down at Mason's house. I'm like, what's going on? I thought they were all gonna be here, and they weren't. And it just seems too coincidental, and it seems like Mason. This may not be true, but it seems like Mason just kind of planned this anti-Dalton party, if you will, in midweek, just to be like, oh wow, screw you, man.
Well,
Well, the
Kim,
parties they weren't, number one, it wasn't a party, and number two,
Okay, get together.
I think what really deterred Mason from wanting to go to your party is when you asked him, what are you gonna get me for my birthday, and he said, I'm gonna give you $15, and you said, oh man,
that's it.
that's so little, why can't you do 25? And Mason found that to be a little bit,
Like, it was just kind of a wow factor that whenever I said, hey, I'm gonna get you $15 for
but
Only
here
15?
nor there, your party wasn't even at the same time when Mason invited his friends over, so.
And remember the day of you asked me, hey, can we talk? And I said, why? After you called me.
Monday.
Yep. After the day you called me, who else did you call? You called Brady, right?
In Berkeley.
And you asked Brady, what did you ask him? Hey, did he invite you first? I can call Brady right now and he
Brady
will
told me he said yes to your party on Saturday, the day of.
No.
So,
It
Well,
That's
wasn't
what
a
Brady
party.
told me.
I mean,
no matter
It wasn't
what
a
day
party.
it was, or when somebody was passed,
they still
nobody held a gun to their head, and they had a choice where they wanted to go. I mean,
Yes, no, I understand
I mean,
that.
if they wanted to,
I just have a
they
question.
could have gone to your place after ours because I told everybody they had to
I
be
told
gone
them,
by 5.
I told them, I'm like, hey, his party, are you guys all gonna go down there? Because I was like, that's perfect.
His friends. I just have a question for Mason. Why did you RSVP yes? You were
Because-
the first person
I
that
clicked the link
RSVP'd
and I
if
didn't.
You knew.
Well, first off, Dawn told me there would be several juniors there, and I am not a big fan of the juniors, and they are not a big fan of me. Whenever Berkeley told me there was going to be over 15 juniors there, that did not seem very appealing to me because I just do not enjoy the presence of juniors, neither very couple other people, and even then I was still not knowing. I didn't really read the day it was until that weekend, but after also I found out there were juniors coming that I did not stand good terms with.
So did
I-
you tell Dalton, hey, I'm not
I-
going to be there because I have a get together?
I told
Or
him
did you just
I
not say
first
anything?
I told him something. I said, hey, how many juniors are there? He said just a few, and then Berkeley said no. Berkeley pulled me off and said, you realize there's gonna be over 15 juniors there, and I was like, oh well. And I told Dawn, I don't think I want to go because there's gonna be a lot of juniors there, and like I said, I am not a big fan of juniors. Art class, you can ask Berkeley.
Which class?
Art, paint.
So is this really about the birthday party that you had and
No,
those
that was just
5 people didn't come?
That was just kind of the pinnacle of all of this.
And you know what? I mean, I really think that we need to really think about this pretty strategically and critically. The timing of your presidency, and you have the pool of people for Zoe, you got the pool of people for yourself. And do you think maybe that there were some people that were a little bit bummed out that maybe Zoe, not that you won, it didn't matter, but Zoe didn't win, and they were pretty devastated because that was that girl's life vision and goal for the last 4 years and her contributions over the year. Don't you think that maybe no matter who won presidency, if it wasn't her, not that it was you, but that they were pretty bummed out for her?
No, I completely understand that.
So I think you really need to take that into heavy consideration and don't point just fingers at Mason. I think you need to look critically at that situation. And there were a lot of people that voted for Zoe, and maybe those people might be on that 71 friend list of yours with that special messaging media group that got you on detention, and critically look at those and find out how many of those probably voted for Zoe and how many maybe voted for you, and then do your process of elimination. But I know that I've known Zoe and her parents for 10 years. I was devastated for Zoe. I wasn't devastated for you. I was very happy for you. I was devastated that whoever else won the presidency, because what she did and built that up, like, you're a rising star and you're looking for this and you're doing every role and you want that so bad, like she could taste it, and then somebody comes along and sweeps it up. It was you. Congratulations. I listened to your speech. Mason showed it to me. I was proud of you. I thought it was fantastic. And so it's not that they're mad at you per se, it was that they were bummed out for Zoe and her spending so many years to do that and didn't get it. Unfortunately, it was you that won it, so it's kind of like against you, but it's not really against you, it's against the position, if you will.
Yeah, I completely understand that.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure that we talk about that openly and honestly, because I do believe that this is probably one of the biggest fuels to the animosity of this entire situation that might go beyond a little bit more than Mason.
Well, Dalton has been friends with Zoe since day one of Bay Area. They talk almost every day. They do schoolwork every day. So I feel that there's I know Zoe was upset. I get that. Who would not be?
Right.
She
but
was
so,
very hard.
So she doesn't have
and
animosity.
she needed a little time to
Yeah.
to
I think she's probably still
deal with that.
digesting it.
Sure, but Zoe and him are on talking terms. So I,
So she's talking to you again?
Yeah, we do anatomy
I do
work and
schoolwork every day.
FaceTimes pretty much every night.
I hear her
Every
voice
night.
every night. So,
Well,
That
that's
was a
great.
concern.
you know,
I think Dawn had
I
tried
know
to
that's
reach
hard
out to
for
her
her.
several times and she was not interested in talking.
yeah, but I think that
Well,
she
I
just
think-
needed some time to.
Yeah.
Right,
process
yes,
that.
exactly. And you know what? They're 18, and when you
process.
spent your whole career in high school and you wanted a dream and it was burst, it's hard for her to digest it. And when Berkeley came over, I spoke to him about it, and it's hard when you work for something for so long and you don't achieve that goal and reflect. I mean, I listened to her presentation and her speech, and I mean,
But Dalton has also wanted this position. It's not something that just happened.
no, I know
I
that.
want to
Well,
run for president.
no, I know.
He's wanted it since day one at Bay Area. He actually applied for it.
Absolutely, and I commend him
And so
for it.
it is something that he has thought about seriously for years. It didn't happen last year, other things going on, but it is not something that he just, I think I'm gonna run for president because I'm committed.
No, and I never implied that. I'm just saying that I think that there was a bigger issue with a lot of feelings that were surrounding his birthday party, and maybe these children didn't know how to divest those feelings and the situation and maybe who they voted for. And I really would think that Berkeley would probably vote for his sister, but I don't know the relationships.
But
But I'm just thinking that there's
he's just asking for honesty. You know,
It's,
he's at Berkeley's.
well-
He's also asked.
I just find it hard to believe that people would just friends of mine, best friends of mine, Berkeley, very very good friend of mine, talked to him a long time. Just find it kind of hard to believe that he would not even come to my birthday party over a high school student council election.
You know what? I found that funny too, because I even said to them, "It's Dalton's party time. Come on, everybody, let's go. Round up. Go, 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 go. Look at all the cars are down there." And I was cleaning up, and I said, "Did they all go down there?" And I had to go check on my friend over there at Julio's, so I had to drive around, and I didn't see any of their cars, and I was like, "Wow." So you know what? I think maybe that's a conversation you have to have with Berkeley. Or all those guys. I mean, I can't answer for them and why they chose not to come to your party, but I honestly believe that there was some sensitivities over
There,
the
there,
presidency.
there wasn't any encouragement on our part.
Yeah.
Nobody said, here's $50, don't go to Dalton. I mean,
No,
They-
no,
they-
no.
they're
That's
very,
not what we're
I mean, they're young adults, they drive cars, they're capable of making all their own decisions. I mean,
And you know, if maybe we should have invited Angel, Arturo, Berkeley, and Brady, because, I mean, they weren't even at the same time. It was a get-together. So I'm sorry that you're upset about that, but Mason can control.
If
Their
people say
behaviors?
yes or no to something I invited
Dude,
to.
but that is not
That's
even
not what
the
it's
point
about.
at all.
Not at all.
We could get
Oh,
two
I'm sorry. I
teams
thought that
about
he was upset about them not coming to his party.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
mean,
a
that's
point.
kind of how the messages
Okay.
started, but
So that wasn't a problem. I'm so sorry. So it's all back to Mason and these text messages? Okay, well, guess what? He has been reprimanded, and I just want to
Dalton
encourage
never,
that.
you never answered your father's question because we got sidetracked about if the stuff was true about harassing Mason about the car accident or texting Mason when he was driving behind you. You never answered that and told your father whether that was true or not.
Okay. So we'll start with the car accident, I guess. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I was just being immature and being a follower. I wasn't going out of my personal way to go harass Mason. When I got to school the morning of, I reported to everybody else that Mason was in a car accident, and I didn't know much more than that. As far as the text message Landon sent, I had nothing to do with that, and just the things about harassing him about it, I really do not think I was harassing him. I just was following along with whatever everybody else was doing.
So-
I
Do you think those are
mean,
bad
Guilty
if
by
we're
association.
going to,
Do you think those are bad jokes, Dalton? Do you think the way it's coming off is, you may think it's funny, but he's a little more sensitive than you, so maybe he's not thinking that's funny, or?
I understand that. I should be more knowing to that, and probably not.
How
do
about the comment around the 15 versus the $25 in the
Okay,
cars?
that as far as that one, that was completely a joke, and I know that one came off in the wrong way, and I sincerely apologize for that, and I should not have said that at all. There's no excuse for that.
And what about when, I mean, I read that and I was kind of devastated myself, and I'm just a mom, that you said, oh, Mason, you can stay at home and tie your flies and play your Xbox. I don't even think he has an Xbox, but maybe that's the name of it, and said you'll amount to nothing, and I mean,
After what was said
Okay,
in
well,
that, I supported
wait a
that.
minute.
That was just that was
After
just a
all
comment.
the text
At a
messages
Christian
before that.
school?
That's right.
That was a comment made out of anger toward what he said.
Started coming back at
So
At a
Not that
Christian
it's okay.
school.
are you supporting what Dalton
It's
has
okay.
said the whole night? I've been a follower. I only was, every time he was questioned or asked a question tonight about the lunchroom, I was a follower and just doing what others did. I was a follower and didn't make up the name, but I used that name. I was a follower and harassed Mason about the accident, but I was just following what other people were doing. So do you support that if others are doing it, do you support the following of it?
No, I don't buy into the follower piece. I think he probably was following. Do I think it's right? No, I don't. I absolutely don't.
From my
And
perspective. Go
from
ahead.
a tie and fly perspective, I will be extremely clear with you. If I was receiving text messages, because Dalton was genuinely reaching out to say, dude, I'm not coming at you. I'm trying to reach out to you. I'm trying to make amends here.
Mm.
And by the time all the FUs and the pussies and the bitches and the suck my cock stuff is going on, all that, I would have said fuck you too with your flies and all that stuff. So I was like, well, Dalton finally said something, but then by the end of it, it was like, look, I'm done, man. This is not going anywhere. So let's just be done
I
with
mean,
it.
that's what happens when somebody says that much stuff
Right,
to
you
you.
know
At
what,
some
I-
point,
I-
at some
so
point in time, you
angry
gotta draw the line.
I'm sort of a firm believer of that right now, that if you're supporting that, well then fuck this shit, I'm done with it, really.